There's a lot of people. Bogota is one of the cities more dense in the world. That's very advantageous for many things, certainly not for the pandemic. That's quite a challenge. So we divided the city by 2 million people, and we did set up different terms for local lockdowns at the same time that we were passing the first peak. Again, to prevent that the health system could be overwhelmed, and turned down by the pandemic. So we were able to attend every citizen. Nobody in these 8 million cities was left without health care during the pandemic, either for COVID or for other diseases. The third thing is we're a very dense but a very unequal city. So at the beginning, since last year, unfortunately, poverty was rising in Bogota and also in Colombia. As you could imagine that in this year, poverty has continued increasing. Unfortunately, we have now double rates of poverty and unemployment than the ones we have last year. At the beginning of our period of this year, 0 families receive cash transfers from the mayor's office. Around 150,000 families received national government. Now we are covering 7,1,200 homes with cash transfers. That's amazing. As a network of income support and care and social support for the families, for the poorest families of our city, and also for the, sort of the hidden poverty that was there since last year, and now is a sort of open poverty of people in vulnerability that we were able to support, not only with the health system, but also with this social system and network system of taking care of them.
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. Those were really interesting points and quite encouraging, actually. But why don't we continue to move on, because we're going to keep ourselves moving forward. Mayor Bacanos, could you comment on this question?
Well, it's been a very tough year, I think, for all of us, because we have been facing an unprecedented pandemic. And clearly, it's an international problem, but it also requires local solutions. And that is where local authorities actually come in. I mean, our strength is working bottom up, and our true power is in the streets. So the city of Athens very quickly made a number of calls, which were actually the outcome of a strategic decision, which was that for us, the priority lies with those who actually are the most unfortunate, those who are usually left disenfranchised or voiceless, those who are invisible to the central state. That's why, very quickly, we set up a special shelter, a home for homeless Athenians. It houses up to 400 people in conditions of dignity. At the same time, we set up a shelter for drug addicts while increasing street work to make sure that these people receive the necessary medical attention. We went further. We actually set up a new system called Help at Home Plus, which allowed us to actually deliver food, medicine, and aid door to door to tens of thousands of Athenians, not only during the lockdown, but also as we speak. And we also made sure that in order to be able to respond to the needs of the city, we understood that the city organization had to change. That's why for us, the pandemic was also an opportunity to move forward with long overdue reforms. It was a catalyst, if you'd like. I can mention quite a few examples. Let me just mention one. We restructured the city organization by giving special emphasis on the digital services that we provide. If there's one message, I think, coming from Athens, is that, of course, this pandemic knows no boundaries. Of course, this pandemic no color, no gender, no nationality. The pandemic does not actually look at one socioeconomic background, but it must be very, very clear that it is a huge socioeconomic issue, because the pandemic actually brings into fore the structural injustices that exist within our cities, the poverty pockets that the mayor mentioned earlier, and that is where we are obliged to actually put the most attention.
Thank you for those important comments. They're very much appreciated. I do want to ask Deputy Lord Mayor Nyanjura to talk about what were some of the hardest things that she faced in Kampala before we move on. Deputy Mayor? Deputy Lord Mayor? We just need you to unmute your line.
Oh, thank you very much. It's indeed an honor for me to address you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Now, like all other cities, Kampala is no exception. We are also grappling with the challenges that come with the COVID-19 pandemic. Kampala harbors 6 million people during the day and 3 million people during the night. So Kampala is a very congested city, making it an active hotspot for the spread of COVID-19. And indeed, out of the COVID-19 cases that have been reported in Uganda, 61% of those, 37% of those cases have come from Kampala. Now, Kampala, Uganda belongs to, it's a third world country. But nonetheless, as leaders, we had to make very hard decisions because we wanted our people to survive. Now, one of the hardest decisions that we took was to send our people into a lockdown, well knowing that a majority of them are casual workers. You know, they go and work, then what they fetch from there is what they eat for that day. They do food to mouth. So that was one of the hardest decisions that we had to take.
I put on this one dislike because WHO details I already explained in last video. You just watch last video about COVID. See, strange things are happened and more strangeness happening. I am not much knowledge in English because I studied in only local language room. So my English is very poor, but I am expressing what I clearly given as a video. See, today productivity, that field I am fantastic in all over the world. Because I prepared for productivity for Japanese people, I prepared for our American, at that time not, mostly for Toyota service time. And see, I made a chart and that is submitted to 40 CA peoples, intelligent peoples, and that report is gone to Japan. What I am going to say, productivity is very important for a good future of our world. Every species are related to productivity or parasite. So more productive one support to a parasite to also. So this kind of COVID are decreasing our productivity and losing of our productivity. Our poverty will be increased, and so many are now unemployed, and so many poor people they are doing daily routine job. They are facing very big troubles. The whole entire nation, I think, getting trouble. The whole world may be getting trouble. So don't repeat this kind of actions. I think something is happened in Italy to USA, like big nations. Maybe that is a spreading of virus through air or something specially because of climate or any factor. But still that is with them, and they is going everywhere. They are also spreading that flu virus. That flu virus is making trouble. But my state, Chinese returns are came. They treated and they are now okay. Some foreigners are with us. They also treated well and they okay. That means that result is given 100% of curity. Afterwards, only after 3 to 4 months after only we saying spreading. But that is unfortunately, and actually what is going inside a hospital and what is happening, we ordinary people don't know. And this statistics, I don't know what it is. Everything is no, no abnormal, very dangerous. See, that is why I am going to unlike this video, because I don't want to chat with them because my poor in English. So comparatively 10 unlike and 10 likes. I tell that these 10 likes, they are ordinary people. They don't know much about this because they are not much awareness of these COVID actions, how it is happened, how Chinese are delivered this COVID, and how it is spreaded from there to there. How many states happening this COVID, and what are the defect of this COVID? What is the defect in our body? These things are ordinary people don't know. So unawareness of this making them as a clicking of like, that only I think.